first one is Blanco, which is also known as Plata, also called silver, and it's bottled right after it's distilled. It's normally aged for 2 months in stainless steel. So you get a lot of these really bright and crisp flavors and notes, and it can be pretty citrusy. It can be very lovely. A lot of people tend to do shots with it. And I tend to use that more for mixing. It's not really one that I tend to sip because I like mine to be aged a little bit more. So if you think about a lot of margaritas, you think about palomas, and some of those lighter drinks that are well known, even some of the tequila martinis, they tend to use Blanco, and a lot of the mixed cocktails you'll use that. The second one is reposado. Reposado. And that means rested in Spanish. So that one is aged for 2 months, but no more than 1 year in oak barrels. And the oak barrel can be any size, so that doesn't quite matter. However, you get some of those mellowed notes. It's a little bit more round in texture. You get the oak and the vanilla. If you get something that's a little bit softer, if you think about drinks like the tequila Manhattan or the old fashioned, but tequila, it's more spirit forward. So meaning you get a lot more of the tequila notes to it. It's not hidden in the drink, but you get to taste the actual tequila. So if you're not a truly tequila fan, I'd probably stay away from a little bit of repo. Now we have the añejo, and that's aged and rested for 1 year, but less than 3 years, and it has to be in smaller oak barrels. So here the barrel actually matters, and it does impart a lot more flavor because it's a smaller area, right? And it's a smaller volume, but it does get a lot more of the texture and the flavor from the barrel. Now, it's often used and aged in American whiskey barrels. Of course, that may vary, but that tends to be the habit. And you get this really rich, darker caramel notes, and you get this very pretty caramel, almost dark honey color. Again, the texture is different. It's a little bit creamier, and I tend to drink that by itself. I don't really mix that or blend that. I may have a smaller cube just so that it can enliven it a little bit and to help it release some of its flavors, especially if you're a bourbon drinker or something of that nature. You're going to like doing that, depending, unless you want it neat. And then the fourth one that's new that came about in 2006 is the extra añejo, which means it's aged for a longer period of time. So this one is aged more than 3 years, and I tend to drink it neat. So if I have anything extra añejo, I really feel like it's a treat. If you're a Scotch drinker, if you like brandy, if you like cognac, and you really have the habit of taking your time, for instance, if you're out with your friends, if you're smoking a cigar, if you are at a lounge and it's just one of those really sultry